thank you.
Cool. I guess Phoenix tomorrow, how do you feel going into that game?
Look, I mean, they're all important games, but, we're obviously at home and we know where we are in regards to the ladder. And they obviously know where they are as well. So it's going to be a game in which two teams are extremely desperate for points. We don't want to be a team that, we're looking at it that there's 10 games to go and at the moment you're doing calculations and you're talking about this, and if you get on a run and it could be a case that, you get yourself in the top six. It's definitely game by game. And for us, we have to be ready for tomorrow because it's going to be very, very strong opposition.
Do you think when you get to this point of the season and you are doing all those calculations, sometimes you can lose, touch of what's right in front of you or, what actually you have to achieve first?
Oh, absolutely. If, but, and maybe. Okay, they're three people you don't want on your team. All right, so we have to ensure that we know that it's an extremely important game tomorrow in the context of not only winning it as a game, but as in the context of the season. So we're extremely prepared for that.
And when you came in a few weeks ago, straight away, what were some things that you thought, I need to change this, but also at the same time, they have a really good, there are some things that you really liked the look of?
Yeah, look, I think it's, you come into a position and you then have to look to see how you can utilise the group as best you can. And then you're looking at the attributes of the players and what that looks like from a positional sense, and then what that looks like also not just in the case of when we have the ball or when we don't have the ball, but also the transition moments. From a set piece perspective, what does that look like from impact players coming into a team? From a formation perspective, okay, and then thinking how much information, how much change you need to do. So they're all things that you take into calculation. Again, what type of load and what they've been doing previously in training, just to get a good idea of where they're at, because you don't want to break players as soon as you come in. So it's been a balance, and again, we're definitely getting a lot better in regards to implementing the game plan for more time of the match. Are we there at the moment? Possibly not, but we're getting big gains each week.
Well, even just looking, I guess, at the last game with the draw, there was some really good stuff there. So do you take away lots of positives from that?
Yeah, absolutely. There was some good things. I mean, in particular the first half, but that's what we're talking about, the fact that we need to put two halves together. So it's about looking and seeing why that occurred from a positive perspective, and then you've got to look at to see, well, why didn't that occur for the whole of the match? And then from there, how do we ensure that we can start to get that a little bit more from a total match? You're never going to control a match completely with a ball, but you need to also understand that in every single moment you want to try and ensure that you do have control, and that's the area.
Like you said before, you've got two sort of desperate teams to get points. I guess how do you make sure that doesn't turn into really sort of scrappy, desperate play?
Yeah, look, it can come across as a bit of a cup game type feeling as well, and then there's got to be there's always a desperation in regards to those cup games, but we need to have a case that for sure we are desperate, but there's also a calmness, and being able to play in different tempos and recognising when that is to occur. I think that's will be key again for tomorrow.
And you are at home, which is really nice, so I guess it will be nice to have the fans come out and support you as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I know the boys really enjoy having a number of the fans here to support them, and we look at them as our 12th player on the field. So the more support we can get, the more the players enjoy that. But as I've stated before, you've got to earn that, and we're in the process of earning it.
And as a coach, is it quite hard to, I guess, come in with only so many games left of the season? So I guess, for yourself, what are you hoping to achieve from now until the end of the season?
Look, it's the old adage for us at the moment is that it's one game at a time. But obviously, you're in a position. I think we're 12 points from the top. and then I think we're 7 points outside the 6. Okay, so you can do the math and realise that it's very, very attainable, but you can't get ahead of yourself. Okay, so we have to keep on working every day, every session. Every part of the session is important. Every part that you do has got to have a purpose. Every part, the players have got to understand that there's something that they're either understanding or reinforcing from the principles of play, or from the perspective of their position, or even from the perspective of that moment. So it's paramount for us to keep working hard on the field, and hopefully the fruits of our labour on the training field start to come to fruition on the matches.
And in terms of the players, do you feel like they're in a healthy sort of headspace right now? I guess that can be when, like you said, bottom of the ladder, you can get a bit down, or do you think that they're, ready for the fight that is coming up and they are in a good space?
Yeah, look, you can point fingers at all different types of things if you want to make excuses, but the bottom line is that we're all in this together and we're in this position. All right, so it's got to be done from a collective. It's got to be done as a group, and they're pretty committed. There's a line being drawn in the sand, and they're accountable to each other, and they're accountable to the fans. They're accountable to the football club. So I think you'll expect each game that the performance will be a wondrous performance.